All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope you turned your brain off and did not think about this class um, like you promised you would. Hopefully, you had a good spring break. If you worked a lot, great. Hopefully, it wasn't too terribly busy. Um, but as we move into the second half of the semester, today my plan is to get through chapter 8. We might get into chapter 9, it depends, but we'll definitely finish chapter 9 this week. Um, and then next week, we will finish chapter 10. So next week on Monday, which then means starting on Wednesday the 25th, we're going to start the project work days. Okay. So if you remember, the project work day is you can either log in online, um, or you can come into class. Okay. So let me give you an example for next week. Go to the assignment. Let's go to our syllabus. Okay. So next week we have due on the 23rd, we have your raspberry sauce. Okay. So you should be working on that. Then next week, okay, so on the 23rd and 25th, right? That's your 25th is your project work day. So if we look at what recipes are due the following week, so the 30th, we have the menu set two for the rosemary cheese bread, the broccoli cheese soup, and cream of broccoli soup and the velouté sauce. So those three recipes are due on the 30th. If you come into class on the 25th and those three recipes are already done, as soon as I take attendance, you're welcome to log off. Okay. Or moving forward, you can start asking questions about these recipes. Okay. The purpose of the project work days is because I hopefully you're not like me, but if you're like me and my teacher says we're not going to have class today, it's a project work day, I'm going to take that as an opportunity to take an extra hour-long nap rather than actually work on the project stuff, which is what I've seen students do. And then they stress out at the end of the semester because all of a sudden the whole project is due instead of trying to break it into small pieces. Okay. So what I have done is broken it up. And so if you are done with the recipes that are due the following week, then you can just log off.
Then
Okay.
you can take a nap.
Then you can take a nap. Exactly. Because you've already worked ahead. You've already finished the homework that's due that next week. Okay. If for whatever reason you are not done, then you need to stay on Zoom and you need to be in class until the 3:15 time. Okay. And I will be available to answer any questions that come up if you're having any difficulties with any ingredients. Okay. And so the same thing for the 30th and the 1st. If we look forward on April 6th, that's the zucchini and the sour cream red potatoes. So on the 30th and the 1st, if you don't have those recipes done for April 6th, then you're going to stay on Zoom and or stay in class until you get those done. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns about the format of our class for the next couple weeks? No? Okay. I did just remember something. Let me pause the recording for a moment. All right, so a couple of things, couple of announcements before we get started. Um, this last week during spring break, I met up with some friends that I haven't seen in a long time, and one of them I didn't realize had changed jobs, and now she works for a company called Performance Food Group or PFG. Okay, so Performance, how many of y'all are familiar with Cisco or Benny Keith?
Yeah.
Right. So PFG is a similar company. It's actually the same company that I used when I was a cook up in Maine. And she told me about their food show. I'll post this flyer as an announcement in Canvas, but she told me about this food show that was happening on April the 14th. Okay, so April the 14th is actually a Tuesday, so it's not one of our class days, but they have invited me to bring up to 100 students to this food show. Okay. So a food show is basically where all the different vendors that want to sell food to restaurants, right? They will showcase their products. And they also do a lot of things where, like, if a restaurant adopts a certain menu item, then they'll figure out actually the cost per item for that restaurant. They'll actually have cost sheets and things like that. And so it will be free to attend for students from St. Philip's College. I'll post this announcement in Canvas. If you're in class, I'll also pass this around. You can register as well if you're interested in going. Um, it will be at Techport, the Boeing Tech Center at Techport. And so it'll be kind of down in that area. So plenty of free parking. I think there should be also via buses if you'd use transportation that way. I also am trying to see if there's a way that maybe we can get shuttle transportation from St. Philip's. So that way you can park here and then take the shuttle there and come back. So that way it won't cost you anything. So yeah. So I'll post information about this. This is really exciting to go to a food show like this. Questions about that? All right, some other assignment or other announcements I want to draw your attention to. I was kind of busy this morning making announcements on Canvas. I'm not sure if you saw those. Um, but there is an extra credit opportunity. This is a Thursday evening or Thursday afternoon to evening. So again, not during the normal class day for us, but on April 30th, we are hosting a high school appetizer dessert competition upstairs on the fourth floor. Okay. Right now we have 15 teams of each. There's 15 appetizers and 15 desserts. And so if you want to come help volunteer, there are different opportunities, whether you are in the lab, so you're kind of overseeing and making sure the students leave our lab clean, kind of being a point of contact in the labs. We also have opportunities for volunteering to help at the event, so like picking up trash and bussing tables and things like that. Benefit is if you're helping out during the event, you also get to go around and taste all the food. So otherwise, it's closed to students. It's not open to anyone. It's open to the industry. So it's not open to students unless you are volunteering. So that's a kind of a good way to get in to events like that is to volunteer. And then while you're not volunteering, while it's kind of a downtime, you can go and taste all the food and experience that. Okay. There will be alcohol served. But as students, we're not able to consume alcohol on St. Philip's College campus. So that will be just for the attendees of the event, not for anyone who's volunteering. But you can use this form right here if you're interested in signing up as a volunteer, and then you'll get extra credit for this class if you volunteer. Other announcements. I did post there's culinary job opportunities for part-time and full-time. SeaWorld San Antonio is kicking off their Seven Seas Food Festival. And so Seven Seas is a food event at SeaWorld where they have, I think, 9 or 10 different booths set up with different types of cuisines based around the different oceans. So they have like German, they have French, they have Mediterranean, there's Mexican, there's usually something like either Korean or Japanese. There's all different types of cuisines. Brazil is one of my favorites. Um, but they are looking for part-time and full-time staff as well to help out with that event. So that's posted here. You can sign up. The part-time is the senior cook and the sous chef is the full-time position. And the last announcement, street taco cook-off. So this is the third time we've hosted this event at Hotel Contessa. It's downtown on the Riverwalk. They've hosted us. We basically do a taco cook-off on their back patio on the river level. And so they'll set up 4 stations. There are opportunities for teams of 3. You have to get your team together, okay? And sign up if you are interested. There's no cost. You just basically get to come in and participate. It is open to second year students, which should be most of everybody in this class. You should have at least taken Chef 1300, the 1898 class, okay? And so you can sign up using this Google form. It will automatically open on Thursday at 10 a.m. Okay. I'm giving you guys a little bit of a heads up. Because I'm gonna wait till I talk to all my classes so that everyone has a chance to get their teams together. At 10 o'clock on Thursday, it'll open up. You can register. You do need to register your entire team all at once in order to be considered as a team. Okay. Um, so you basically what will happen is at the event, you'll have about 10 to 15 minutes to look at all the ingredients that they're going to provide for you. So they're going to provide a variety of proteins, vegetables, tortillas, different things like that. And then you can decide what 3 tacos you're going to make and present to the judges. You'll have an hour to make your 3 tacos, which you think an hour is a long time, but an hour goes by really quickly. Okay. They typically will have a burner, so and some pots and pans, so you can cook things that way. They also have grills, flat tops. They have fryers even. They post on their back patio. Um, and so they'll have all the different types of equipment that you might need. All you need to bring is your chef uniform, you and your chef uniform, and your toolkit. Okay. Um, Trying to think of anything else I can think about that event. They do provide valet parking complimentary for 1 vehicle per competitor. So each person of your team, if you're driving, you can just park valet at the hotel and tell them you're a competitor. They won't charge you, but I do ask that you bring at least $5 to tip the valet driver, since they're giving you complimentary parking, which I think is usually about $40 for valet parking. So saving $40. And if you can, as a team or whoever, just get together and chip in money for a tip to the valet drivers, that'd be awesome. Any questions about the street taco cook-off? Anybody interested in doing it?
I
I mean,
wish I had the time.
it's kind of fun. It is on a Sunday morning, so it'll be in the morning, 10:30 to 12:30 on a Sunday, which is April 19th. So um, we'll see what kind of interest we get on Thursday. We do ask so we can plan accordingly, that everybody sign up by April 1st. So even though it opens on the 19th, you have until April 1st to sign up. So those are all my announcements. That's a lot of announcements. Those are all my announcements. If you have any questions, please just let me know. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw this one before spring break. I did post information about the Springs Resort. So this is the resort that's in Colorado. They are opening at least 1 to 2 culinary practicums this summer. And so if you watch this video here, it's the live recording of my information session. And then you can, if you're interested in applying, you can apply there at that. It's usually May to August, so that I think 10 to 12 weeks living in Colorado, working at the resort there. In the culinary, they have a fine dining restaurant as well as like the poolside type food, grill type food. So um, it's a pretty awesome place. And all the information is in that video as far as like lodging, like they have apartments and things like that for interns for the summer. And they'll have all that information on that video. Whew, that's a lot. All right. Let me stop the recording. I'm going to post 2 videos. One will be all these announcements,